I'm Michael Collier. You know, rocks don't last forever. They break down, they weather at the Earth's surface. That's the Bisty Badlands down there. It's a moonscape in northwest New Mexico. It's a great place to get a bird's eye view of rocks being sculpted by weathering. On this field trip, we're going to look at strata that were deposited during the time of the dinosaurs. Different layers within these sedimentary rocks weather away at different rates. The result is this wild collection of unexpected shapes. We'll learn that weathering is caused by mechanical or chemical forces. Water, fire, even human beings can hasten the processes of weathering.
The Bisti lies 30 miles south of Farmington in the heart of the San Juan Basin. These 75 square miles of the Fruitland and Kirtland formations are filleted open, mostly by water, sometimes by wind, exposing 70-million-year-old sedimentary rocks, sandstones, shale, and mudstones. During the late Cretaceous, an inland sea occupied this part of North America. Rivers and deltas on the edge of the seaway were home to fish, turtles, crocodiles, and early mammals. How many of those animals do you think you would recognize today? The Fruitland Formation is riddled with fossilized bones as well as petrified wood. The overlying Kirtland Formation is busting its buttons with dinosaur remains. Now, as layers of the Bisti are peeled back, bones are exposed. In fact, a new species of Tyrannosaurus was excavated here not long ago. The Bisti Badlands sit 6,000 feet above sea level. Winter nights are cold, but there's plenty of sunlight to raise daytime temperatures. Any water that creeps into rock crevices repeatedly freezes and thaws, expands and causes cracking in a process called frost wedging. Blocks are pried into smaller, angular pieces, a type of mechanical weathering. When minerals that form deep underground become exposed at the surface, they must adjust to new conditions of lower pressure and temperature. Exposed to the sun, or soaking in the rain, rocks begin to disintegrate. Feldspar crystals decompose into clay. Quartz crystals break down into grains of sand. The Bisti is a stark desert, but a few springs do flow here periodically. Salts can be dissolved in the water and then deposited into crevices. As salt crystals grow, they enlarge cracks in the rock and, like freezing water, break it apart. Also, chemical weathering is greatly accelerated by the presence of acid in groundwater. This might happen when rain mixes with carbon dioxide from the atmosphere to form carbonic acid, or when minerals like pyrite decay into sulfuric acid. Can you think of other examples of acid hastening weathering? The Fruitland Formation is a stack of hard and soft layers, sandstones on top of shale, mudstones on top of coal. Sometimes a strangely shaped hoodoo forms when a cap of sandstone shields the underlying shale from rain. In this way, sandstone and shale, crumbling at different rates, exhibit differential weathering. Weathering and erosion are separate processes. Weathering breaks rocks down. Then erosion, powered by water or wind, carries grains away. But the two can be intertwined. As erosion carries away particles of rock, fresh exposures are subject to renewed weathering. A surprising variety of agents cause weathering. Animals can be prodigious burrowers, busting rocks apart as they dig. Fire is another agent. The Fruitland Formation is riddled with coal seams, some of which burned while still underground. Nearby layers of siltstone were baked and broken into red clinkers. In the last few hundred years, humans have become significant agents of weathering. It's true that the Bisti Badlands are a protected wilderness, but by conservative estimates, the Fruitland contains 90 million tons of coal, a fact not lost on power companies who would burn it to generate electricity. When miners dig up the coal, they also cause weathering. Can you think of other human activities that might influence weathering on a geologic scale? Which term best describes the process that created the oddly shaped rocks at Bisti Badlands? Unloading? Differential weathering? Exfoliation? Rocks at Bisti Badlands were created by differential weathering. How can plants facilitate weathering? As roots grow, they're able to exert tremendous pressure, enough to break rocks. This is an example of mechanical weathering. But plants can also increase the acidity of groundwater, which leads to chemical weathering.